Right.
No, we're all on a journey though. It's all, it's all.
Yeah. You're exactly where you should be in this moment,
Right.
So, and if that's with a doctor that isn't the right one, well, for some reason that's where you are, and we can all learn from everything. Right. So, I'm rereading a book I read 20 years ago now. That was probably, I was telling my wife the other night, the most impactful book I've ever read for me. And I believe it's a 1960 copyright, but it's called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And it's written by W. Clement Stone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I read it when I was like 19, and it had a huge impact on me. And I'm just rereading it again because it's an awesome book and I love how it smells and all that. And I read something, I read a chapter last night about how, positive mental attitude is key in success anywhere. Right. And so, whether or not life is going your way, if you have the positive attitude, it's going to go your way better versus having the negative attitude. Like if something's not going my way and I'm positive and I'm like, well, what can I learn about this? Like you have accurate thinking. That in the book, they call it accurate thinking and clearing out the cobwebs. If you have the negative mental attitude, it allows you to develop cobwebs and you're like, oh, I'm just sick. I'll never feel good. Whatever, I might as well drink and eat pizza every day and not exercise and watch COVID news, right? And then you're never going to be better, I promise you. But if you're positive and you're like, hey, I feel terrible and I don't want to feel this way and I know the answer's out there, I'm not going to stop till I find it. Well, then even if you have a doctor that's not right for you, it's kind of like a sales call. It's like, yay, check that one off, next, right? Like I'm getting closer with every doctor. Right. So that's a way you could look at it instead of being mad that, oh, I wasted time and money and, nope, I learned that that's not it. And the likelihood is that everyone's provided some value for us. Right. And so where was the value? What did I learn? And somehow that interaction led me to the next one, which ultimately led me to today, which will lead me to tomorrow, sort of thing. So I would encourage us and the group on this call is, a group of positive people, but we all allow things to creep in. So just remembering in the moment, nope, I'm not going to be negative about this. What can I learn? Where's the win in this situation?
That's awesome. What was the name of the book? Success
Through a Positive Mental Attitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that PMA a long time ago.
Oh yeah, he and Napoleon Hill and Og Mandino, like all those guys, he talks about in the book how they had a correspondence course for it. So they're writing letters back and forth and paying $60, a year or something. I'm like, man, that was awesome.
Napoleon Hill's good too.
Oh yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah. So those are things that you can read and reread, and again, it's like, if you read the Bible, it's like I've read the Bible. Well, every time you read it, you're in a different spot. So it could be speaking to you differently. Same thing with Think and Grow Rich or Success Through Positive Mental Attitude or, The Greatest Salesman in the World or whatever book you're reading. You're a different person today reading it than you were last time.
Yep. Something new pops out. It's awesome.
Yep.
Right.
What else?
It's interesting that, being sick leads to a negativity, but then negativity leads to being sick. So I'm not sure which comes first.
Yeah.
But it is maybe a vicious cycle, and even being able to take control and be mind out over matter, and just like, no, I'm going to have faith, or I'm going to be positive about this and believe that, like, even today, like, I really did not feel, I had some stuff on my to-do list I really didn't feel like doing.
Yeah.
And then I sat the kids down to do some schoolwork, and I was like, okay, you're doing this. You don't feel like doing it, but you're going to do it anyway. I'm going to go do the stuff that I don't feel like doing. And I ended up being so productive and just checking a ton off my list.
Yep. And you role modeled for them that do it even though you don't want to,
Right.
So make sure you communicate back to them how happy you are that you were so productive that you did the things even though you didn't want to. For real, because they'll be like, yeah, that's great, Mom, but like it'll go in there. you know?
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, oftentimes I'll tell clients, just set a timer for, say, 30 minutes or 45 minutes and then blitz it. And then ask yourself, do I have another 30 minutes or 45 minutes? So, because when you start out and it seems like it's going to take forever, you don't want to get started.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's Janine, you've probably seen this research, but there's a thing called cognitive bandwidth and residual attention residue. And so, like, you know, an example would be I do trading on the stock market. Okay, so if I have a position in Apple, say, and I want it to go a certain way, and it's during trading hours, 9:30 to 4, then I can, if I leave it on my computer, I might be doing reports, but then checking, ooh, where'd it move? Ooh, where'd it move, right? And so my cognitive bandwidth is split between what I'm trying to do and, you know, the trading. And so there's attention residue with that trading that's stealing from my performance on the reports. So what I should do is say, this time is for reports, this time is for trading, this time is for cleaning out closets, this time is for whatever, right? And so by doing that, the attention residue research shows that, you know, finish a project, finish a task, whatever it is, and be done with it. Don't do 3 tasks, you know, all at the same time, because you're going to be worse at everything, versus you do all 3 separately and you might find out you have time for a 4th and 5th task, you know, like Janelle did today. So that's the strategy.
That's awesome. So it's not always good to multitask.
No.
Now, studies have shown that if you multitask, you actually are less productive than if you focus on one task at a time.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Scott and I call it, like, let's just do this. Let's shark bite it. Shark bite it. That's it. And it's done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That's a good term, because you're just going to bite off the whole leg.
Done.
Right? Get it. Kill it. No, it's true. And look at our culture, though. Like, what do the phones do? Ooh, notification. Like, you can't be productive if your notifications are on, because right when you get in the flow, it's like, bing. Ooh, someone commented on something I posted 8 days ago. I forgot what like, who cares, right? So phone on airplane mode, get it away from you, focus on your task.
All right, so when we get up tomorrow morning, we're going to focus on our tasks.
That's right. You know, and Janine, I know you've seen it, but anyone who's a success coach, you know, tells you, you know, have your power hour, and in your power hour, you're laying out your goals for the day, and you're actually writing it down, and you're checking them out. Like, here's the 5 things I want to get done, because Parkinson's law says time expands to fill the space you give it, right? So you could fill something in 5 minutes, but if you give yourself 15, you're going to look at your phone and all that, and you'll finish it in 15 minutes, but you could have done 3 5-minute tasks in that time, right? And because whatever you looked at on your phone was totally useless. Yeah. Right? Every time.
Well, I often use the example of Chuck, I call him Chuck Schwab. But Charles Schwab, when his company was going down the tubes, hired this consultant to come in. And he said, you have access to all my people. You can do whatever you need. And so the consultant came back, and Charles Schwab was expecting binders of information. And he just put 1 sheet of paper on the desk, and he said, what's this? And he said, when you look at tomorrow, identify your top 3 most important things that you have to do, and do those first. Most people come in and do the piddly and diddly things, and they don't get anything accomplished. So Schwab says, well, what do you want me to do with this? He said, try it for 90 days and send me a check for what you think it was worth. And so he sent him a check, and this was during the Depression, for $25,000.
Oh,
nice.
That was what it was worth back then. It would be millions today.
Yeah. So there's your nugget.
Yep, there's a different nugget.
For the next week, write down your 3 things and focus on those. There's a book called Eat That Frog, which basically says that, right?
That's a great book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wake up and eat the frogs. What are the 3 frogs you don't want to even deal with, and eat them first? Then then whatever happens the rest of the day, you can be positive because you're like, all that crap that would have hung over your head all day is done. It's a lot easier to be positive when you're like, oh, sweet, I did the only things I wanted to do today.
And then when the unforeseen happens, you're not panicking.
Right.
Right.
You can just deal with it.
Right.
But people want to feel good about themselves, so they do all those little piddly diddly things because they've done 10 things, but they're not important.
There's a difference between busy and productive.
Right.
Right.
Definitely.
Be productive.
Yeah, be optimal.
That's right.
Yeah, optimal.
Live
There we
life
go.
at optimal.
There's our word.
See what I did there? I see what Jennifer did there. Thank you,
like
Jen.
that?
Yeah, good stuff. So with that, let's all enjoy our families tonight and have a great
Okay.
week. And thank you for being on. I appreciate you guys.